Now we're looking at example or question 2 from the Unit 4 review. Select all expressions that are equivalent to 3.8 minus 2 parentheses 6x plus 10.1 parentheses plus 25 plus 25.75x. That is pretty complicated. So I look at it and I see that there are some x's, and there are some constant terms that I can combine. But first, we need to do the distributive property. So when you are simplifying expressions, first, we're going to distribute, and then we're going to take care of our like terms. We'll combine our like terms. I'm rewriting my question so I have more space. So I have 3.8 minus parentheses 6x plus 10.1 parentheses plus 25.75x. So I'm starting with, my 2. That would be helpful if I wrote the 2 in there. Okay, 3.8 minus 2 parentheses 6x plus 10.1 parentheses plus 25.75x. All right, now we're good. One thing that we have to be careful of when we're distributing is we keep the positives and negatives with their terms. So the 3.8, we can't do anything with yet. A few of you have been adding these two together, but remember, this is multiplication. Whenever you have a number right up to parentheses, it's multiply hidden in there, and multiply comes before subtracting. So we cannot combine those yet. Instead, we're going to distribute. I'm going to distribute the 2 to this term, the 6x, and I'm going to distribute the negative 2 to this term, positive 10.1. So my first step is negative 2 times positive 6x, and that will give me a negative 12x. And then I distribute negative 2 times positive 10.1, and that will give me a negative 20.2. So we have simplified our distributive part, but now we need to bring down the rest of the problem. So I bring down my 3.8. I've already taken care of the distributive property. So that got rid of our parentheses. We have negative 12x minus 20.2. And then I bring down my plus 25.75x. Now I'm ready to combine my like terms. I'm going to put circles around my constant terms. So I have a positive 3.8 does not have a variable. And I look and I see that negative 20.2 also does not have a variable. And notice I kept the positives and the negatives with them. So I can combine these, negative 20.2 and positive 3.8. You can use your integers rules or you could use your calculator, but when you combine them, they will cancel out because one's positive and one's negative, and you will be left with negative 16.4. Now I look at my variable terms. I have negative 12x and positive 25.75x. So I can put together my 25.75x and my negative 12x because they both have the same variable. and that will be negative 16.4. But I need to remember to keep my variable. So negative 16.4x. No, don't listen to that, sorry. This is what happens when I use my answer key, and I looked and I thought, that's not quite right. I apologize. I haven't done a video for a long time, so I'm a little bit rusty. So it's 13.75x. Now some of you are looking at it and thinking, what are you doing, Miss Kuklo? So I have negative 16.4 plus 13.75x. Now we're back on track. I cannot combine those because this is a constant term and this is a variable term. So I can rewrite them though. I have 13.75x minus 16.4. Remember, it doesn't matter the order, but usually we put the variable terms first. You could now simplify every one of these answer choices. But we also could look at our work and just compare the parts to our work. So if I look at part A and I look at just the constant term right there, the 31.75x, we got 13.75x, not 31. So I can automatically eliminate A because it doesn't match our variable term. We don't even have to look at the constants for that one. And then I can look at part B and I see it's 13.75x. So our variable term matches our variable term. And then I see a negative 3.8, which we had a negative 3.8 and a negative 20.2. So our constant terms also match this expression. They just didn't simplify it all the way. So B is correct because 13.75x is the same. And then over here, positive 3.8 and negative 20.2 are the same. And I can check part C. I look at my constant term here and I see that it is 16.4 and it is almost correct. But this is a positive 16.4 and our expression is a negative 16.4. So C cannot be correct. And I also check D and I can tell, I can just look at it and I can see, well, there's 12.1 and we got negative 16.4, so that part's incorrect. And I could check this if I wanted to. 31x minus 2x is 29x. So that's definitely not correct. I guess that looks too much like an x. So I'll say that's not correct. That's not correct. So D is not a correct answer either. So letter B is the only expression that is equivalent to our original expression when our original expression is simplified.